Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to Ken's Money Matters. And here at Ken's Money Matters, talk about the money mindset, how to make that money, how to enjoy that money, how to manage that money, how to invest that money, and how to assure yourself of a lifetime of income, basically financial freedom. Welcome guys. So today we're going to be looking at Twitter. So I'm just going to do a short video on Twitter. Twitter shares have been soaring in the past few days, almost 30% in just a few days. Why has this been happening? You know why. Elon Musk, who is the CEO of Tesla, decided to buy a stake in Twitter. The funny thing about this is that he has actually been talking about starting a new social media page because he's been asking if there is no revolution in the social media space, especially when it comes to Twitter. I just believe that he just didn't like the way Twitter handles stuff. And if you look at his comments, his tweets, the kind of questions he's been asking people, like there's a time he was asking if people need an edit button. There's a time he was asking if it is time for another social media page. And if you look at his tweets, he has actually been showing that he's interested in this industry, basically the social media industry, and most likely something more like Twitter. Now, it came as a surprise to some level, but also not as a surprise when he bought a stake in Twitter. So he bought 9.2% stake in Twitter just recently, a few days ago. And right now, Twitter shares has been soaring. Honestly speaking, Twitter hasn't been performing as good. Twitter has been very stagnant, I would say. Most of the time actually even going down quite fast. If you look at the shares of Twitter and you compare to other social media giants, Twitter has been quite low when it comes to its growth. But now that Elon Musk has entered the space, should you be buying Twitter? That's the question, right? Should you be buying Twitter? So we're just going to be looking at Twitter as an investment opportunity and if you should be going there. So I have given you the background story. Elon Musk bought 9.2% stake in Twitter recently and the shares went poof. So a lot of people have been asking me, hey, what do you think about Twitter? Should we buy it? And this is why I'm doing the video. I'm doing the video because a lot of people always chase stocks. Don't chase stocks. People are always looking at the next big thing. People are always looking at what could give me 100 times more. What could give me 50 times more. So you're always looking for the next big thing. You're always looking for the next big thing. It cannot work like that. By the time people are reading about the news, that price was already absorbed in the share price and therefore the shares had gone high. Now, if you get in that high, you're not sure what's going to happen next because it doesn't mean that it's just going to go all the way to the moon, probably like Tesla. I want to warn you against chasing news and chasing shares. There are people who are good at that, and the only way you can trade that successfully or invest that successfully is if you have insider information, which most of the time people don't have. And people have actually accused Elon Musk of using Twitter to always drive prices up so that he could actually get away with him buying them. So sometimes he has been talking about Twitter a lot lately, then he goes and buys Twitter. It could be a game he's playing, and this is something that will definitely be investigated by the SEC in the US. And he has been investigated before by using tweets to drive share prices up or sometimes down, depending on which direction he wants them to be. He has the money, and he can use that money and his following in social media to drive things up and down. So you, who is just a common investor, should not be following that. Don't go with that wind. Don't try to chase what he's trying to chase because you do not know the game he's trying to play. You don't know the end game. So what I'm trying to say is that you should avoid following those tweets and trying to buy those shares and trying to follow his trail. Because actually, if you look at it realistically, if he buys 9.2% stake, which makes him the largest shareholder in Twitter right now, which is quite interesting. So he went in, bought 9.2% stake and made him the largest shareholder in Twitter at the moment. But one thing you should remember is that 9.2 stake we're talking about here is $2.98 billion. Now, if you look at the net worth of Elon Musk, which stands at 219 billion, this is just a paltry of his net worth. And that's why I always tell people, there are certain things you can only play around with or do when you have a solid financial base. Someone like Elon Musk already has that. So he can go into crypto and buys crypto at 1 billion. He can go into Twitter and buy 2.9 billion. It won't interfere with his net worth. You with your $1,000 or $100,000, you want to chase the hottest stocks. And when they come down with your whole portfolio, your whole net worth. It's not a good strategy if you don't have enough money. Don't follow a strategy that doesn't suit you. That's why I always talk to people when I'm coaching them. Personal finance is very personal to you. Your strategy should remain your strategy. Don't run around trying to find the hottest deals, because it will not end well for you. So I just wanted to say that, first of all, don't chase stocks. If you have been investing in Twitter before, you continue investing in Twitter as usual, whether he's in or not. So as an investor, you should have a very clear strategy that you should follow for a long time. If you want to see returns, stick to a particular strategy. Those who have been asking me if they should be investing in Twitter right now, this is the wrong time to invest in Twitter. Unless you have a long-term strategy, unless you have other theories supporting that investment strategy, and not just because Elon Musk bought a stake in Twitter and became a board member, that is not the right strategy to invest with. Because then what happens next time he buys another stock? Then you have to jump ship and go to the other stock. And remember, he can as well sell that portion. So if he buys it today and decides to sell it after 2-3 months, that's his right to sell it. Try to stick to a particular strategy, and then make sure you are investing for the long term. This is how you make sure you can get enough returns out of the market. So yes, Twitter is doing well right now, but those who are in Twitter should enjoy the fruits. If you are not in Twitter, you're going to catch a falling knife, and it will cut you so bad. So don't try it. Just follow your strategy, continue investing the way you invest, and make sure you follow Ken's Money Matters. Otherwise, guys, subscribe, like, and comment.